happening, guys? Chris VA Travels, and I'm here on the Potomac at Fairview Beach, and my buddy Justin is nice enough to take me on a boat ride. Just gonna putt around, check out some of the sights in the area, and I'll tell you the history on some events that occurred out here. Pretty much just gonna show you around, show you maybe a part of Virginia you haven't seen. So anyway, here we go. Before we hit the water, just wanted to show you a montage of photos I found online from back in its heyday. These are from the 1940s. And to give you the history of Fairview Beach, it's a community up here in the northwest section of King George County that was formally opened in 1937. It was known as Fredericksburg's Playground. There was a dirt road, which is now Route 218, that stretched from the city out here to the beach. Here at Mallows Bay and on the Maryland side, and I'm thinking those are eagles. I don't think those are osprey, but I don't know if you can see that ship over there. But about 200 steamers were built for the war effort, and afterwards they were too expensive to maintain, so they had them sunk right in here. And unfortunately we're at high tide. You might not be able to see good with the camera. You can see a little bit maybe poking out of the water, but yeah, 100 to 200 ships sunk right in there. And we're right across from Quantico, Prince William County. I don't know if you can see that white building over there. And some cliffs straight ahead. Also, word of advice, don't try to grab your drone out of the sky. You'll see what happens. And yeah, we found a first aid kit. It's about 30 years old, and I put this ointment on my hand, and I don't know if I'm doing more harm than good, but at least I think the sun's drying it out. All right, guys, wrapping down the Maryland side, headed downriver, and that's Purse Park. Good place to find shark's teeth, right about where that boat's sitting. All right, keep on trucking. All right, a little further down river, still on the Maryland side, and this is the old Maryland Observatory. You'll see that big satellite dish. There's actually, okay, there's the second one. And yeah, these were built back in the 60s, used during the Cold War, and apparently they were used for spying. So pretty crazy, and it was a big deal for the people at Fairview because they were bright white at the time. They said they looked like angels. And we are right on the other side of the river from Fairview Beach. And real quick, to give you an important piece of history while I'm thinking about it, Taylor Swift played a concert here in 2007 at Aquapalooza, so kind of crazy. Pretty much just, they were supposed to take those down about a year ago. Haven't gotten around to it, but just used as eagles nesting now. Over here, Riverside Ranch Kids Camp, and Dang, it looks like you have to take a ladder to get down that cliff to get to the pier there. Okay, there's some more over here. And we floated down about half mile from those satellite dishes. All right, we're at 65 feet. And there's the Maryland Point Lighthouse. See a bunch of seagulls, it looks like, down at the bottom. Yeah, and we're actually in Maryland right now. Once you get 6+ feet away from the Virginia shore, you're actually in Maryland. So. All right, now we're further downstream. We putted across to the Virginia side, and we're gonna take a look at this sunken boat that was pushed 25 miles downriver from Mallows Bay during a storm. And yeah, we're edging up to it. Just to orient you, Caledon State Park just to the left there, and around that point is Dahlgren, big military base. And I don't know if you can see, but there's some cliffs down there, and supposedly you can find giant shark's teeth. Okay, here we go. It's pushed up on shore. Here's the bow right here. And you can see the wooden frame, sand all up in the middle. And I don't know, 50, 60 feet, 70 feet, if I had to guess. And yeah, you can see the iron pins, the iron rods. They were holding it together. I guess all the wood's pretty much disintegrated. Most of it, at least. There's an old petrified log right there. Mean machine right there, the Sea Ray. Walk over, take a closer look. Okay, yeah, you can see the iron rods, petrified wood, and yeah. And as I say, there are about 200 of these upriver, up near Quantico. Here we go. Yeah, so this thing's halfway under the sand. See, old rope right there. Yeah, shoot, actually this thing is pretty long. I don't know, 100 feet. So, yeah, and these things were used, like I say, during the war effort, but no reason to maintain them afterwards, so yeah, they pretty much just scuttled them. And I'm keeping an eye out for shark's teeth. I'm not sure I'm gonna find any right here, but oh, all right, I think Justin might have found something. He's got a cup full of them in his in the boat. So, I don't know. Oh, okay, also I'll tell you, this is the site of the sinking of the Wawasat, pretty much right in this area. And I made a short on it a while back. It's a steamer that had left, I want to say it was 1873, might be off by a year or two, but yeah, I think 1873, had left Washington, D.C. About 5 miles into the journey, the boiler exploded, causing it to catch fire. Couldn't make it to shore on time, so it burned down to the waterline, sank. Passengers jumped overboard, many drowned. Altogether, 75 people died. Many bodies weren't identified, and some were buried in shallow graves along the shore. So, yeah, pretty horrific incident. Oh, one other thing, tell you, like I say, we're right next door to Caledon State Park. It's a good place to go hiking, camping, a lot of old growth forest, big eagle nesting area, marshlands, plenty of wildlife. And it was originally Caledon Plantation back in the day, and the area was actually first settled 1659, and originally owned by the Alexander brothers, namesakes of Alexandria, Virginia, and which is probably maybe 40 miles upriver, I would guess. And yeah, remember Washington, D.C. didn't become a thing until the early 1800s, so Alexandria was a hot spot. Also, Dumfries, Virginia was a big port town, mid to late 1700s. Fredericksburg residents watching, that was the home of Ron Rosner, owns a big car dealership in town. And you can tell that thing goes back to the 1800s, big pediment on top, brick building, and yeah, pretty big pier out front. Yeah, we're just east of Fairview. All right, guys, we're coming up on Tim's 2, big restaurant in town. Okay, it's Osprey over here. Yeah, this is a big restaurant in town. But yeah, this used to be a casino back in the 50s. And behind it, I don't know if you can see, there's a white building with kind of teal shutters. That was a roller rink. And it was the Fairview Beach Pavilion. So, there you go. Upriver from Fairview, and this is the home of Vincent Radley. You Fredericksburg residents, Radley Chevrolet, big obviously Chevy dealership in town. And you'll see he's got a pool there to the right. Some horse stables over there to the left. And okay, right around we've got Potomac Creek, and then around that point just ahead is Aquia Harbor. All right, right up here was Belvedere Beach, and there was a big old wooden hotel back here, like I say again, 1950s, ended up burning down. And I'm gonna come up here and see what this is. That hotel over there, Belvedere Beach, was a hot spot, had dance hall, all kinds of things going on, and came over to look at this new house being built. And it looks like a whole complex of buildings. That main house, some pretty crazy architecture. I see 3 big old gables up top. And yeah, it's gonna look pretty wild once it's done. All right, guys, got back to land. Like I say, just wanted to take you out on the Potomac, maybe show you some sights you haven't seen. And again, thanks to my buddy Justin for taking me out. And also thanks to his father, our history guide, Tom. As always, like and subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram and support me on Patreon. See ya.